So this is your method for investigating Rarir's past. It almost looks like some kind of ceremony.
Good deduction. But it's quite a different affair from what you're used to with the Frost Moon Scions.
Whoa! First time I've ever been in here. Boss always said it was... Oh, I guess this must be Sumeru decor? That's where Boss is from. And that nice shopkeeper who sold me my treasure compass.
I'm not sure exactly what you've got planned, but it looks like you're all set.
Whenever we wish. But for some reason, I've got a feeling this isn't going to end. I've never faced Rarir myself, but from what you've told me, his power is beyond anything I could... I, on the other hand, am just an ordinary businesswoman. Our paths should never have crossed, yet here I am.
If you ask me, you're about as far from ordinary as it gets. So what are you saying? You're getting cold feet?
Once I take a job, there's no backing out. Still, I have to ask myself if the power I'm relying on will even work on an opponent of this caliber. And also how to make sure I come out of this alive if the death is the one thing we can take for granted. It is the great equalizer, however fortunate or unfortunate we may have.
Come on, boss. Lighten up. Quit talking about death.
For once, I agree with you. When you're up against a foe like Rarir, there's no such thing as being too... Is there anything I can do to help?
That won't be necessary. I've already made up my mind. Time to cash in a precious favor I've been saving for a rainy day. Yehoda, I need you to find someone for me. The sooner the better.
Eh? Find who?
That shady merchant who sold you an overpriced treasure compass the other day.
Come on, boss. You're pulling my leg again. In what... Anyway, I know who you're talking about. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Quit grabbing me. I genuinely can't run any...
Hey, aren't you...
What is it? What's the big rush? You dragged me out of a dream where I was literally swimming in Mora. I'm charging double my usual attendance fee. See, look how easygoing she is. After that
Dori Sangama Bay? I never would have...
If you want to make it big in Nodcry, it's all about connections. Lady Nep, it was back when I first arrived in Nodcry. My trusty assistant, the genie in my lamp. And wouldn't you know it, that's when I suddenly find myself in a... I've been giving her a 30% discount off all of my goods ever since. Now, so that no one here, plus any other friends you send my way, will enjoy 10% off. What can I say? The great Lord Sangama Bay is nothing if not generous. So, let me guess. You've run into some trouble?
You guessed correctly. What have you got in the way of survival gear?
The one type of gear I've never been short on. What are you looking for? A jetpack fresh from the Academia's labs? An ancient suit of armor, dredged up at the very least. I need to know what kind of opponent you're dealing with here. If even you're worried about staying alive, it must be pretty serious.
What if I told you it's someone with the power to bring a nation to its knees?
Is that so? Then we really...
Your supplier?
A powerful woman, make no mistake. I can't reveal her identity, but luckily for you, I hear if you're willing to wait, I can ask her when she's here. Can't say exactly how long that'll be, though.
Then, let me put it another way. What would you do if you encountered...
Of course not! I have a handy little trinket from one of my generous suppliers, which... Hold on. What exactly are you getting at? No, no! This is for my personal...
Let's just say I'm borrowing it, all right? Just for favors are the worst kind of debt to owe, and now you've got a...
Fine. You can borrow it for 5 days. No, make that 3. And for every extra hour after that, I'm charging you 1,000,000 mora. Deal?
Deal.
What a way to start the day. Now, was there anything else you wanted? Or can I go back to bed now?
That will be all. Take care now. Don't trip up on your way back, friend.
See you later! You're my favorite shopkeeper.
Excellent. Everything is well and truly ready. The ceremony can now begin. After initiating the ceremony, your minds will follow me wherever I go. You will see many strange things in your mind's eye. So remember, don't be frightened, and don't make a sound. Now then, let us peer into the Raker of Solnari's past. I made it. I don't recognize this style of architecture. Must be Conrian. Simple furnishings, table and chairs. Looks like the fearsome Raker of Solnari came from surprisingly humble beginnings. Unless this passed for luxury in Conria. Anyway, I'll keep exploring.
Hi, Rivier. Since you're working extra hours tonight, I thought I'd keep myself busy by checking out that new kebab shop. I've heard good things about their menu. I'll test it out, and if it's as good as everyone's saying, let's go back together sometime. P.S. New stash from the Universitas Magistrorum. I brought some goodies home. A few teacups and a pin rack.
They didn't sign their name, but they must have been close.
I went over to Joseph's for drinks today. They have a fine collection, but I went alone. Felindis was tied up with something and couldn't make it. Joseph asked why I came alone, but I didn't really have an answer. He then went on to ask about other things. If you ask me, someone who asks that many personal questions is too nosy for their own good. But if he invites me again, chances are I'd still go.
Felindis. That's the same name Rerir mentioned.
Crane imports keep falling. If things don't pick up, we'll soon be back to meat and mushrooms only. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of that new type of mushroom everyone's been into lately. Didn't it start out as a lab-grown variety? I heard it's even mildly corrosive. Seriously, I don't care if it's an impressive feat of alchemy.
Grain has to be imported, and they're eating a diet of mostly meat and mushrooms. Could it be that would explain why they use so much stone in their buildings? They even use alchemically modified strains for food. Seems like the people of Conria don't have many options when it comes to dining.
I've just about saved up enough now. Time to buy it and keep it somewhere safe.
Making a big purchase. He really is a professional. No wonder he's so good at covering his track. Despite what he's become, it seems like he's retained certain... Did Rary rip it out himself?
Before I met you, I was convinced that my heart was nothing more than a stagnant pool. The burial place of a fallen moon. A withered, windless grove where the waters rested forever unripped. It was you who helped me see that my heart hadn't entirely withered away. That it could still beat to the rhythm of love.
This is just trivial sentimentality from the looks of it. What the burial place of a fallen moon?
Reverie, over here.
Dane! Oh, and, Vedaflin here? What a surprise to see you here, sir.
Hello there, Reverie. You need not address me so formally outside of court.
He doesn't get that much free time, so I invited him over for a drink. Even the court prophet deserves a break every now and then, right?
Well, I'm flattered.
So, what are we discussing today?
Hey, don't look at me. As far as I see it, we don't need an excuse to have a few drinks.
Come on, don't give us that. Didn't you say you were about to pop the big question? How's that coming along?
Who'd have thought the great Twilight Sword was an even greater gossip?
I just didn't expect you to be the first one to settle down and get married, that's all.
Yeah. If you told me that a few years ago, I wouldn't have believed you either.
So, are you planning to come clean about your job then? I'm guessing you still haven't told her.
Sure, I'll have to tell her at some point. But I'll need to pick the right time and place.
Come on, stop being such a pessimist. For all you know, she could be thrilled. I bet she'll be much more impressed by your actual job than the one she thinks you're doing now. A member of the King's Guard. Quite the cover story. Does the king himself even know?
Of course he does. Anyway, enough about me.
Me? Same old, same old. Nothing much to... Huh? What's up, Ved?
It's nothing.
Vedaflin, Dainslift's elder brother. Renowned throughout the court of Conria as the Visionary, and said to possess a wisdom far beyond the... And yet, despite the gulf between us, he seems to have something to... Does he even know me? Does he see me as a friend of his brother, or just another of the Vinster King's blade? Why did he react so strongly?
Brown, curly hair and brooding blue eyes. Perfectly normal. No different from anyone else. As frightening as this monster is in the present, there's...
Felindis? You're back early?
Our equipment's being serviced today, so I got off earlier than usual. How's your day been? Aw, why the long face? Is something the matter? Has your boss been giving you a hard time again?
Went for a drink with Dane and the others after work.
Isn't that a good thing?
Vedaflin showed up today, too.
Ah, Mr. Vedaflin. Yes, I've heard of him. They say that everything he says ends up coming true.
He overheard Dainslift mention that I'd recently proposed, and seemed to have an issue with it.
So, you're worried? You can be such a child sometimes, Reverie. We're nobodies. Why would the Visionary be concerned about us? I'm sure someone in his position has much bigger fish to fry.
Maybe you're right.
You worry too much, Reverie.